Hey, it's Marina, travel experta, and today we're going to be talking about a motorcycle adventure tour. Are you guys ready for an adventure? Let's begin. So, when I told my son and my husband that I have booked us a motorcycle tour, and the motorcycle tour is when I get my own personal motorcycle, my husband gets his own personal motorcycle, and my son is a passenger on his motorcycle, and obviously the woman that is in charge has her own motorcycle. So it's literally it's like a motorcycle tour. And the first thing my son said to me is like, why are we doing a motorcycle tour? And other than the fact that why not, I got to thinking and I explained to him, I'm like, if we don't try new things, because this is so new to us, like my husband is a motorcycle enthusiast. He's been doing motorcycles forever, but not me. I mean, the only thing I've actually done with motorcycles is we have our scooter that we've used for 14 years in Antigua. And about 8 years ago, me and my husband took out a Harley for 3 days and we did Southern Florida. But my husband keeps on telling me that Harleys aren't the same as BMW adventure motorcycles, which is his thing, or Ducatis, which is what he loves most. So I told my son, I'm like, until you try something, you don't really know what it's about. You have absolutely no idea, when you're actually doing something versus seeing it and saying, oh, that's kind of cool, or no, that looks dangerous, or I don't really want to. So instead of being a spectator, I got us into it. And interestingly enough, my son loved it. And I'm like, you never know, you might fall in love with motorcycles. And of course, we all kind of did. And my husband just reignited his love for that. But driving a motorcycle, so funny enough, this tour we did in San Cristobal de las Casas. It's a female-run motorcycle tour business. So fun. So interestingly enough, we've been in San Cristobal de las Casas for almost a week, and it's been absolutely perfect weather. Sunny every day, chilly in the evenings, which is their normal thing because they are 2,400 meters up. So it's normal to be cold. And the day that we have the entire motorcycle day planned, it rained. It barely ever rains. And it rained in the morning. So we started off with, it was a drizzle. It wasn't like a hardcore rain, but the tour was not canceled. And so we got on and it was drizzling. It was also super cold. And because we had to go even higher to get to the location we were going. So the tour that we got was to go to the canyon. I have an entire podcast about the Sumidero Canyon, which is about 2 hours outside of San Cristobal. It's a great day trip that I really recommend doing. But instead of just getting there by car, I wanted to do something cool, and that was with the motorcycle. So it's about 2.5 hours if you take the motorcycle because you have to go a little bit slower and you have to cross over this huge mountain to get all the way back down. So when you're going all the way up the mountain, it was also super foggy. So we had like all sorts of weather conditions other than snow during our ride until we started to head down towards the canyon, and then the skies cleared up and it was just sunny and gorgeous. It was such a fun experience. The motorcycles were in really good condition, and you do not need to be at all a motorcycle driver. Okay, like I don't have a clue how to drive a motorcycle, never did with the clutch. So she had an automatic one, and my husband obviously had the regular motorcycle with a clutch and whatnot. So you can be a total beginner. It is geared for total beginners as long as you know how to drive a vehicle, obviously, because you do need a driver's license. So it was just really like you really feel the elements when you are on a motorcycle. I mean, there is no hiding anything. You feel everything, the cold, the wetness, the heat, the fog. I mean, everything. And it is really interesting, right? Like it's a workout almost because you're so in the moment. You're so just in the open road. Honestly, one of the best tours that we have done as far as a totally unique experience. It was amazing. I super highly recommend everybody, if you have a chance to do it, wherever you are, there are motorcycle tours everywhere. You do not need to do the multi-day ones. They have just the 1 day tours. Really cool way to get to a place that you want to visit anyways, but differently, right? You could even rent a motorcycle if you are already into motorcycles, there's places that rent you motorcycles so that you could go in a different type of a way to get there as well. We did the tour mainly also for the security reasons. She knows where she was going. We know that the motorcycles, like if there's anything that ever happened, she would be able to work that out. We were in a totally new country, so that does help a lot more when you do it with a person, with a guide, even though it's not like a stop and go guide and here's this, that, it is just a cool thing. You get to where you're going. And other tours that she had also is like to go to waterfalls or go through indigenous villages. We decided to do the canyon tour, and it was great. If you guys have ever done a motorcycle tour, I'd love to hear your feedback and comments on it. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a review, share it with your friends, and remember, make every day an adventure.